Hey everyone, my name is Angela Shirk and I am a certified athletic trainer. I am originally from Ohio but moved to Mountain Lakes, New Jersey when I was in 6th grade. I grew up in a sports-oriented family. My father played professional football for 13 years, and my brother played lacrosse for University of Maryland, and then for 2 pro lacrosse teams for a couple of years. So I'm used to being in the sports arena. I played 3 sports in high school. One of the ways I decided to become an athletic trainer was I had a coach in high school, and she was an athletic trainer, and so she showed me that there was a way I could stay in sports but also do the medical aspect of it. And so that's when I decided to pursue being an athletic trainer. I actually decided to come down to North Carolina to go to school. So I went to Catawba College in Salisbury, North Carolina, and I graduated in '93. After I graduated, I did several different jobs. I worked in a clinic as a athletic trainer doing treatments and everything like that. And then I decided to become a health club manager and did that for a couple years. And then I get bored very easily. Okay, so then I decided I went to work for a company in Charlotte doing rehab, and they were bought out by another huge company. And so when I was with that company, I decided to learn everything I needed to know about a clinic and how to bring patients in and that kind of good stuff. So I moved from a clinician to front desk so I could learn that part. Then I moved into the marketing position. And while I was in the marketing position for that company, I also went after sports contracts. And some of the sports contracts that I went after, I was the athletic trainer for a professional softball team. I was an athletic trainer for the Charlotte rugby team for several years, and that was a great time. Learned a lot. I became an athletic trainer, the assistant athletic trainer for the Carolina Cobras. So, I stayed kind of in that sports arena, but was able to do marketing and talk to physicians and get to know them and all that kind of stuff to bring business into the clinic. And while I did that, like I said, I went after sports contracts, and I was able to get all those sports contracts for the clinic, and I ended up working them and learning new stuff because I like to think outside the box, and I like to learn new things all the time. And while I was there, I had my mentor who was helping me go after these contracts said to me, hey, you know what arena you need to try to get into? And that is the motorsports world of NASCAR, because they didn't have the athletic trainers there that they needed. Yes, they had a couple. Don't get me wrong, they did have a couple, but they didn't have any females as athletic trainers, and most teams didn't even know what an athletic trainer was. Apparently the guys at that time, if they got injured, they would keep it to themselves and continue pitting until they couldn't pit anymore because it showed up in their performance, or they would secretly try to go get help, but they didn't know where to turn. So I decided then, because my mentor introduced me to a pit crew coach who was also an athletic trainer, because most of the coaches at that time would coach, who were athletic trainers would coach. So I had a couple coaches that I got to know who were also athletic trainers, and I decided at the time I would volunteer my services for a year. And what I did, every Tuesday, I would go around with the coach and meet him at his practices, at his teams, and I would get to know all the guys, and I would get to know the people who worked for the teams. All the guys would have my number, and when they got injured or they got, needed something, they would know that they could call me. And so I kind of became that buffer for them when they got injured. So either I would treat them or I'd get them in with the doctor, to a doctor's office, and stuff like that. And so I gained the respect from the guys of making sure that I did exactly what I said I was going to do. Okay, so then after a year of doing that, I decided to, I left my job there and went to work in Mooresville for a company who was already there, and they were producing lots of pit crew guys out on pit road. They were coaching these guys on how to do pit stops and the different positions and that kind of stuff. And so I went to work for them and learned from the best, and learned all the positions and how each position performed and what the different injuries were for each position. I spent a lot of time really working and honing in on this one skill. Am I a race fan? No. Do I really care about cars going around in a circle? No. I care about the guys who are in the pits, and not to say I don't care about the drivers, I do, but I care about the guys who are pitting the car, the ones who can make or break a race, the ones who are jumping out in front of a car going 55 miles per hour. Those are the guys that I really wanted to work with and really wanted to make sure that they were staying healthy. And if they weren't, then they could get the proper care that they needed, because I look at them like they are professional athletes. But they didn't have the care like professional athletes have. And so that's what I wanted to do for them. While I was there, I got to know all the coaches of the teams, and I had coaches calling me or, saying, hey, I need this guy treated. Hey, I need that guy treated, and different stuff like that. So in 2007, I decided, you know what, in June, I'm going out on my own. And I started my own company, Advanced Athletic Training Solutions. And that's all I did. I specifically did pit crews. I started contracting with the teams because they were finally starting to pay attention to what I was trying to do. And it was awesome. And I started traveling to the racetracks with a couple of my teams that paid for that. I would travel to the racetrack during race day and take care of them, and then come back and I would take care of them back at their shops. And then in December of 2011, I opened up my own facility, and the guys could come to my facility if I couldn't go to their race shop, if I didn't have a contract with them, so they could all come and see me at my facility to get treated. Then I decided in December of 2013 that, you know what, I need help. I need a background. I need to be a part of a group that I could call on a whim and say, hey, my guy needs help, and stuff like that. Yeah, I had doctors that I worked with that were good to me, but I needed even more if I was going to continue giving the services. I needed to step it up. Let's put it that way. So in December of 2013, I merged my company with a huge company here in North Carolina, or in Charlotte, and they were already in the motorsports world too. The interesting thing is that they and I were heading down the same path, doing the same thing, but individually. So we had the same philosophy, we had the same mindset, we had the same vision for what we wanted for motorsports and the pit crew guys and that kind of stuff. And so at that time, I decided I'd call them, and we merged my company with theirs. I brought the 3 heavy hitters that I was working with at the time, and that was Ganassi, Petty, and Roush Racing, and brought my heavy hitters with them, so that way, basically, because they had 3 other heavy hitters at the time. And then the small teams kind of came with that too. Even though I wasn't contracted with them, I still brought them along with me and all that kind of good stuff. And so this is now my 19th year in motorsports. And I'm very proud of it, but I also too don't tell the story a lot and put it out there, but I figured I would. I am and I come to think about it, and I am the first female athletic trainer that's in the sport, that broke into the sport. We now have a couple other female athletic trainers that are in the sport, but at the time when I started, there weren't any. And so I'm very excited at the fact that now we do have more in the sport. It's easier now for us to do what we do, because now the teams are really kind of understanding how important it is to keep their crews healthy, because when you are required to perform a pit stop in 13 seconds, 10 seconds, or whatever, if you are the ones who can make or break a race, because on pit road, it's very important to gain spots from pit road, we got to keep those guys healthy. And that's what I do. And I enjoy working with my guys. I enjoy traveling. I enjoy everything there is about it. This is the longest sport I have done, and I am continuing to do it and keep these guys going, and I will do it as long as I possibly can. But that is my story in a nutshell. And if you have any questions, please let me know. You can follow me on Instagram, or you can follow me on Facebook. But if you want to get in touch with me, please leave a message and I will answer any questions that you might have, if I can answer it. I do know people ask me what are the most injuries that we do see. I can tell you it kind of goes in spurts. For me, I can't talk for my other fellow athletic trainers that are in the sport, but for me, it is shoulders are a lot, wrists and forearms, knees, hips, and ankles. So really, I mean, it's kind of like any other sport, but that's what I see the most of. And preventative care is huge in keeping these guys going. So we do a lot of preventative care. I do a lot of preventative care. I work really closely with my strength and conditioning coaches to make sure things are going well, and I work very well with my coaches. I am down at practices as much as I can when I'm not doing treatments, and the guys all know that they can come to me, and my number one goal is to get them better and to have them continue doing what they love to do. But that's usually one of the biggest questions I get, and so that's my answer on that one. But if you have any questions, please don't be afraid to ask, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Have a great day. Bye.